All right, welcome to another episode of Rivals on the Pitch podcast. We are going to be going over match week 27 and we'll go into match week 28, but obviously talk about the North London Derby. Can't get away from it. We'll talk about some controversies. We'll talk about Liverpool's single goal, keeping them in the race for champions. Yeah, welcome back.
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Yeah.
I feel like you have something up
drop
your
it in the
sleeve.
middle of
You look
sneak
suspicious.
it in somehow.
Yeah.
He does.
Nah. All right, no intro this time because as you can see, been a little bit of a change. So,
Oh, you guys put up a
no
brick wall.
intro. Yeah, that's actually said by Gabriel and Saliba right there, and Raya.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Watch out. It's going to fall. It's going to dive on you.
Is it made in Acme?
But yeah, how did you guys like the weekend games?
My game was
Saturday
okay.
wasn't bad.
I was moving over the weekend, and I was on the phone with Verizon trying to get my internet out to make sure we could watch this game on Sunday. So,
Why don't you guys go somewhere?
too much to do, but
Sure.
yeah, I had to make sure. And because of the Olympics, they're not really showing a lot of the games on like Peacock or on NBCSN. They're kind of hard to find. You have to watch them through uh, one of the Spanish networks. And yeah,
I kind of thought so too. You just have to look for the right channel, I guess.
Yeah.
Because on Peacock, usually they'll promote it on the main screen, but then you got to go into like the Premier League portion of Peacock and
Yeah.
look for the game because the Olympics were pretty much taking all the highlights, all the spotlight.
Yeah.
That's all I watched actually. I didn't even. It was football this weekend. What?
Yeah. I know
That's
you were watching.
crazy. I was
The
watching
chat, man.
curling. I was watching the
Curling,
Canadians cheating at curling.
Poke.
We should talk about that actually. Yeah.
But
Speaking of poking, yeah, I think that's what happened with your second goal. Well, maybe a little poke.
Yeah, a little
and that's
poke
what it was.
apparently brings down a 6'4" dude to his knees. What shameful.
Yeah.
Shameful.
so let's dive in since we could just get it out of the way then.
The North London Derby or just the?
Yeah.
All right.
So do you want to start, Alan? How do you feel about this new coach? New start, I don't want to say new start in 11. I think you guys fielded what you could.
Yeah, I was looking at someone had posted a starting 11 with all the players that we didn't have available, and we could field a better team than what we have right now. We had Kinski at goal, we had Pedro Paro, Romero, Danso, Adogi in the back line. We had Lucas Bergvall, Madison, and Bentancur in the midfield with the up front of Kulusevski, Kudos, and Olderberg. And I think that team right there can actually beat the team that we've been fielding these last few games. But I think regardless, I still think we have players that should be playing a lot better than what they are. I think this sacking of Thomas Frank took way too long. I'm not going to base Igor Tudor's coaching just yet, especially after a London Derby against Arsenal, with the position where Arsenal is compared to where we are. I don't think that's right to be the barometer to see how he's doing. I think we had some costly mistakes that made this game look a lot worse than it is. I'm not saying we played great either, but the clearance by Dragusin to head it right straight to Arsenal. I don't know who he was passing. I think he was passing it to Basuma, but just an awful clearance. gave the ball straight away, and even on that first goal, I think Basuma missed a tackle or something, and basically Arsenal recycled the ball back in our box, and they scored that first goal. um, and then just we didn't have much moving forward. I think that right there, where our attacking wasn't the greatest, I think that's kind of um due to some injuries of the outfielders that we can actually field on on the pitch. Um, it was frustrating. I don't think
Anything
most
positive?
of us thought that we were gonna win. I think it was just more high hopes that we might be able to get a draw out of it. Um, New manager bounds. I think that's what we're excited. The only positive I could take out of it is I don't think we looked as bad as we did under um,
Frank.
Thomas Frank. I think these next matches, I think we are going to be looking a lot better, especially with these other teams who are right now, we're probably more competitive against. So that's a positive to me. I think the way we kind of played in parts of that game, I'm not gonna say the whole game, but parts of that game, I think we looked a little better. I think once we get Romero back, I think that's gonna help us a lot more because I think Dragu, we should sell him this summer if we can. Get whatever we want from him. I don't think he fits a very traditional center back role. Just defend and clear. But if you want to play out the back, I don't think he's the type that you want back there. And he proved it last season. And I thought he was gonna get a little bit better under Thomas Frank. Uh, but obviously he's been out for 12 months. But coming back now, seeing the way he is defensively, I'm like, no, I don't think he fits our style. I think we need to get rid of him. Danso fits a lot better. He fits more of a profile center back that we want. Um, he can carry the ball forward. He can pass. We can play out the back with him. But with Dragusin, he's just so many costly mistakes. This was last season, and now this game, like a big mistake. Um, but frustration, but it's not like I'm surprised, if that makes sense.
Like you
That's
said, you expected in a draw as the best outcome. You didn't expect, oh, we're gonna be, defeating them. So at least
I
you
wasn't
were already
I wasn't
prepared
a
for the worst in a way. So when it
I
actually
wasn't
happened, you weren't
expecting
caught off guard.
I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting a draw. I was hoping for a draw.
You
Yeah.
would
That's the difference.
I mean,
before you
you
kick the
went two
ball, you would have
two.
taken it, right? I mean, like before you kick the game started, you would have taken a draw. Like it's like
Yeah, yeah,
here's
oh,
a
yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I
I
said,
get
like,
it.
that's I didn't think it would have been a great story, of course, that's what I was looking for, a great story.
Yeah.
Like I said, a draw, something that I was like, maybe, that was being hopeful, but we're these 2 teams are on 2 different trajectories. I think we have so much more to worry about. And I'm not talking about relegation in our season. I think we have so much more that needs to be fixed within not just the players on the field, but just higher up. Like this thing is there's so much damage that we need to repair before you know, we start trying to be or trying to claim any titles. I should say right now. I don't know if
I
that's
mean, I did read a post that they were saying that they're trying to change the what's it called? The wage structure there because Xavi Simmons is the one who is the highest paid. So they're think we have to that's something they're considering of doing like once the season's over, especially because due to relegation maybe being
and
possible.
it's true they
But
need
that's
to
something
because
that's good though. At least you see
yeah.
something because that will draw uh you'll be able to pay those type of players to come join you. But again, yeah, like you said, it has to be attractive football and how attractive is it going to be if there's no Champions League or any Europe or
And then you get
or a
paid pennies.
decent coach that might draw interest.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that Tottenham started the game well. Obviously, they conceded first. Like you said, there's a lot of missing players, so I feel like I don't know, maybe just a lack of organization on that first goal. Um, then you guys conceded off it. We made a mistake, and Rice at the back with hardly ever the player to make a mistake, and here's the one of the season that could have really cost us because after that we started looking a little shaky after we conceded that goal. Um, but Tottenham were pressing well. They were going out. They were trying not to let us play our game. at your stadium. You guys were pressing Zubimendi, you were pressing Rice, and you were pressing Saliba. He was pushing up. So you guys seemed animated. It seemed like that like new manager bounce for a bit. Um, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, like we said, Tottenham are in a bad spot right now. They're not playing well. They just lost their manager. They have a new manager. All the injuries and the form of everybody else. I feel like it would have been. I don't think this is the worst loss. I think I'm sure it hurts because we're rivals and you know next door neighbors
It's the worst.
and you guys
Really?
basically
It can get
you're
worse,
letting
Alan.
us.
It can get
y-
worse.
You guys are continuing letting us continue to dream. So I feel like the
You're
title
welcome.
race was feeling a little shaky there, and then I mean, so that's probably the part that stings. But I feel like this is almost inevitable in the way I feel like just because of the state that you guys are in. So um, but as far as Arsenal, I feel like there's some things going around that the players met before the game, and they kind of had like an honesty chat where they like aired out any sort of like weird feelings. And I don't know, all of a sudden Gyökeres started getting a lot more service in this game that he's gotten all season. He scores 2 goals, you know what I mean? 2 passes from Mosquera, who's playing right back, that came from essentially the halfway line, and he scores it right outside of the box. And then one by Odegaard after he came on. I feel like we've been struggling with. I feel like he's not one to like always let the ball go as soon as it gets to him. He kind of like cycles it a little bit, and he gives the ball first touch to Gyökeres for that second goal. So I'm hoping our next game is Chelsea. So I'm hoping that we can take this momentum now that Tottenham have given us,
Chelsea,
and
Chelsea, Chelsea.
Let me
and
say
hopefully we
stat
can carry
padding
it.
against
Honestly,
relegated teams, huh?
I do think you're right. I do think once we scored that equalizer in that first half, it's like you guys scored and the stadium kind of erupted a little bit. As soon as we scored, dead silent. It was like everyone was like, "Oh no," because we scored within 90 seconds.
Yeah, it was
That
right after.
equalizer,
Yeah,
and so that kind of brings me back. We'll get into it because the score
Give
line
you
was
hope.
2-1. Conor McGregor sends it down to Kolomwani, who wins the ball and scores, and then it gets blown. Whistle gets blown, and it's a foul. It's a push off,
I think it's a
and
so
push.
this,
yeah,
this is annoys me because it's a rival game, right? But I feel like we get portrayed in such a worse way that I feel like maybe it's a biased opinion, but I feel like there's evidence to back it up where we get portrayed like we're hated by the media, by the pundits, by everybody. And this goes to show because, when a few weeks ago, Gary Neville, right, when Ekitike went up to head it in,
Why
he
you
pushed off
gotta bring
Romero,
me
right?
in?
yeah,
So Gary Neville was like, "Oh well, you know what? Romero's got to do a better job. He has to be more physical. He can't just fall or he needs to be more physical in that and win the ball." But when Kolomwani doesn't, I don't even think he touches him. I think he just backs up
Exactly.
because
I didn't say touch.
Gabriel falls in plays. That dude, he sold it right. Gary Neville's like, "Oh, look at that! That's a foul. You can never do that." It's night and day. Like it's the reaction. The play itself is very comparable, but his reaction is night and day. And I think that's such an example of how we're portrayed throughout social. I won't say social media because fans are fans. We're gonna talk shit regardless. I'm not gonna. They do their thing because I'm gonna do my thing too. But when it's about media and you can almost include refereeing in this, but pundits and all that, commentators, it's like just constant digs at us, and that to me that's the most frustrating part, especially with this loss right now. And I think that it should have been 2-2, and I think that could have changed the not course of the game. I'm not saying we would have won or that the outcome would have been any better, but I would have loved to see what the match would have been after that with the 2-2 because I do think that would have played a role. Equalizing right after you score, we score. That quick fire. It's almost like I feel like there was a little bit of rattling. Maybe that's just us making more of it, but I think it's true. I think it could have happened, but we'll never know because the Golden Boys again get all the calls. So.
Well, first of all, no, because this happened to us over in Newcastle, and you guys told me that Gabriel went down to EV. I was like, but letter of the law says 2 hands on the back. That's a shove. But in that moment, they had given the goal. VAR checked it, and they said, there's not enough in here. There's 2 hands on the back, but is there a shove? No. I agree with you when Romero got shut by Ekitike. I think a lot of it depends. We mentioned before VAR. It depends a lot on what the ref calls it on the field, and then when it goes to review. Because when it happened at the game this weekend, I feel like the goal was taken away because the ref saw a shove on the back. They said there was a shove on the back, so no goal. VAR goes to review it and probably said it's really soft, but there is a shove, so it's not a incorrect call.
Yeah,
The way you guys,
He does.
the way you
Doesn't
guys
matter
play
how
your
soft it is,
corners,
but it
the way you
is.
guys play your corners, and all that should have
Exactly.
been the way you guys like.
But
So
it's
you
2
know what
hands
it
on the
is?
back.
To
and
me,
that's
it
the
feels like
call.
the refs go in there and they think, it's just Tottenham, whatever. It doesn't matter.
No,
It doesn't
I
make a
don't think
difference.
so.
I think
I think it was.
I
I
believe
think
it.
the refs. I
I
think the
feel
refs saw
more
the
the
shove and called
pundits
it back.
are against Tottenham. More pundits are against Tottenham than refs. I mean, I do agree.
I think
Gary
so
Neville
too,
is
'cause
he's like one of the worst. He's hated like by a
He's
lot. And of
and
course they had the
he talks
rivalry
so much
against
about Arsenal too. They hate Arsenal. All these Man United pundits hate Arsenal. They all trash talk us all. They say Rio Ferdinand is probably the worst one because he's not even serious about it.
and he's
I
on
mean,
his
this guy.
podcast
So
and
yeah, so I honestly think that's what happened. Was he saw just the 2 hands on the back, saw the shove, and he said, "No, it's not a goal." They reviewed it and he said, "Well,
How do you
it's
get
kind of
pushed and fall straight down? So,
I think if they had given the goal and then they had checked it, the goal would have stood because it stood before. Like I said, this happened against Walter Mata. Did the same thing to Gabriel. Gabriel went down, and the goal counted. VAR went to check, and they said, that it's not enough to call it off, so they didn't call it off. And it's happened to us multiple times against us. I feel like this time it went in our favor. But when I saw it and they reviewed it, I said that's way too soft. They're gonna count it as a goal,
it is way too
and then
soft.
they didn't. And they didn't. I'm with you there. I would be so upset too. So
I
I
was
believe you.
because, like I said, I don't think that was gonna be what was gonna lead us to win. I don't, I'm not gonna say that was gonna guarantee us a draw either. But I think after that moment, you saw the confidence just drop. It just felt like the air just leaving the body. That's what I felt like after you're watching that because it was like the 60th minute, and um yeah, that it sucked out the energy. I felt like the players were like, yeah, we're done. Like this was a one shot, and then you guys scored shortly after, and so I felt like that was such a tide changer, and
Yeah.
it's one of those where it's been sitting with me, and I'm like I'm not blaming. I am blaming Arsenal because it happened too, against us, right? But I feel like it's more of like I said, I feel like to me, like the ref was sometimes matches they go in and they're like, it's just Tottenham. They're not fighting for anything, whatever. It doesn't matter. They'll be fine with whatever they get, And I feel like that's just like an ongoing trend, especially now. Maybe now I feel that I'm more sensitive to that because of the position we're in, but yeah, it was a rough one. And like I said,
Yeah.
we played better in a sense. I mean, Thomas Frank, he probably would have tried to low block and he defend the whole time, but I'm glad that we were more active. I think we were more front footed, and like you said, we were pressing higher. We just got exposed, and I think that's the lack of personnel too. And I think these next few matches, there's going to be a shift. So
You better hope so because he got some tough games coming up, and one of
you're
them's
very
against
close.
Nottingham Forest, and that's going to be a 6-point game right there.
It is. But I mean, we'll make up for it when we play Liverpool. They could barely beat them.
Oh, okay.
They got. Speaking of refs, they got a goal off of onside, off an offsides. But hey, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
All right.
tough pill to swallow.
Yeah. So should we bury it then? Leave it?
I mean, of course, Pat wants to leave it because he's on winning end on both sides.
Whoa, wait, hold on.
Okay.
There's going to be a third meeting.
Is there?
We got one more competition we're in.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yep. So we can meet a third time. And I don't think you want to meet us a third time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it'll be 4 times. Depending on what round it is, it'll be 4 times.
Yeah. And that will be the last time until you guys come back up. So
yeah.
Okay.
You get back, when you get back into the Prem.
If we win the Champions League, you can have these London derbies, 2026 London derbies.
I just hope you guys, we'll play both legs away at Tottenham. That's fun.
Just you wait.
Clip it.
Just you wait.
All right. Well,
we might have one more.
You can get revenge against Liverpool for the Ekatike shove.
Golden boys. Everyone's golden boys. Where do you guys do the payment plan for the revs? Where do you guys go for that? So I can let Tottenham know.
Well, they can't even play their players well. What do you think they're going to pay the refs?
It's at Man City on Venmo. It's the same account.
Probably.
But I mean, I've shown you guys video what they are getting away with, game after game.
No, don't try to change the subject.
No, I'm talking about it because they only ever benefit. The rev is shit for everyone. But I mean, Fernando Silva, the shove on against Newcastle, Shar, I think that's his name now.
Barnes? No.
No.
Oh yeah, guy. I saw that. Did he?
No, not Harvey Barnes. It was Burns.
Burns. Yes, it was Burns. Yeah.
He was already on the yellow. No eyes on the ball whatsoever. And then I showed you the one that
I know he jumps into him while Burns is looking at the ball, and he just it's uncalled for, man.
And the one I showed you, that was identical to the Xavi Simons on Van Dijk one by Foden. I mean, come on.
And then again, you always can go back to that Doku fucking karate kicking. McAllister, which is the poster child for. The poster for a red card and nothing, but whatever. Yeah.
Before we move on, I do want to go back just a little bit. There was also a time where Kolomwani had ran past Gabriel, and guess what? He's the last attacker, and Gabriel wraps him up, brings him to the ground. Nothing is said. Unbelievable.
What?
You know what? Hey, bring these 115 charges. Come investigate Arsenal. Actually, no. Bring a new lawyers because they're not doing anything with those 115 charges.
Well, Arteta's probably going to get some of it. He was there during that time, so accomplice.
We need some new investigators because this is awful. But yeah, I think what upsets me the most was Man City and that they get away with all this, and as soon as something inconvenient happens to them, it's like they get on, especially the supporters, they get on their Facebooks, Instagrams, whatever, and they start calling for, even the players, they start crying about these calls as injustice, and they don't want this and they don't want that. I was like, bro, you get one call, go the other way, and your heads explode.
Well, they're paying so much. One's too many.
What do we pay you guys for?
Yeah, it's like when Barcelona, you guys remember when they were actually found out to have been paying refs? Yeah. And they're like, well, we're not paying refs to favor us. We're just paying them to make sure everything's even because, Real Madrid, and then it was what you can't admit to it. And then all of a sudden make it sound like it was the right thing to do. Like, we just want to make it even. At the same time,
well, then say don't keep it secret. That makes it so much shadier.
At the same time, the things that Real Madrid get away with, but they're the kings of kings.
I don't know how people can. I stopped playing FIFA because I kept playing Real Madrid.
Oh my god, it's the worst.
The following that they have, it's like, don't get me wrong, I would love to win titles constantly. But to that extent, I feel like what's in
Yeah.
it at that point, you know?
If there's no struggle, it can't be that fun, right?
Yeah. After a
Yeah.
while, you're just like, oh my god, we don't have a $100 million right winger. Oh,
Signing.
we're so
Yeah.
bad. Yeah. Anyways.
But
Anyways.
anyways, so yeah, the storyline gets a little bit tougher for Tottenham, but with a renewed man at the top at the reins, we'll
I'm
see
confident.
what they can
Confident.
muster up.
Confident. I'm not saying we're gonna get European football, but I'm confident that we'll be here next season, which is
All right.
it's awful to say, but
The Tottenham face Fulham next at Fulham, and Arsenal play Chelsea next. This one's
Fulham's a
another
tough
London
team.
derby. So we'll see where our paths lead us, what this game means.
all right.
One goes
Speaking of
north, the other one
Chelsea,
goes south.
uh Chelsea just drew to Burnley this weekend too.
They
Yeah.
did
Blew
one,
another
and they
lead.
had another red card.
Yeah.
Another red card. This was 72 minutes for Fada. And yeah, they lost at the last
Yeah.
in overtime,
Last
90
second.
plus 3. But it's weird with this Chelsea side because they I feel like because they're not as consistent as they should be, I feel like they don't get as much stick because they're like almost like flying like under the radar.
Yeah.
But with the money that they spent, I mean, why aren't they doing what Arsenal's doing? Why are they doing what Villa's doing?
Yeah, why aren't they doing what Tottenham's doing?
Because they
But
spent the money. I think that's the only
yeah, right.
thing.
The transfer scheme or policy or whatever they want to call it, and with the managerial changes, um, obviously they're trying to seek some sort of, I won't say perfection, but they're trying to be a. I'm not saying they're trying to. They're a top team, but they're trying to win things. But they're so inconsistent, and with the money spent, and like I said, all the managerial changes, like you just can't get it. Can't get it. You can't. Everything isn't syncing up, no matter how hard you try. And I feel like they put this up to the situation because I think every summer we're going to see this until they change their motto. You're going to be seeing players in and out, changing rotation, and your starting 11s are going to look different every season because of how they're doing business. Because I think if they don't sell, they start
They can't buy.
they
Yeah,
can't
they're
buy
gonna
and they
be.
get close
Yeah.
to PSR and all that.
Right.
So they're kind of shot themselves in the foot because if they need
And
to make
that's
money, then they
something the
got to
new
sell.
manager has to deal with, and that's
Yeah,
something he didn't sign up. But then again, he's a yes man, so he's gonna take whatever they give. But I think like Chelsea is just trying to buy a player for like every situation. A free kick specialist, a speedster, someone who does tricks. I feel like that's like their motto. If we have a little bit of everything on our team, then whatever situation we're in, we should have a solution for it
an
in a
answer.
sense.
Yeah,
But yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to get consistency when your starting 11 keeps changing.
they're gonna have to
What
sell one of those midfielders eventually,
That's like the only thing that's like sort of
saving them.
consistent
Enzo,
is set is just like Caicedo, Enzo, and what Cole Palmer I believe is in there.
yeah,
But that's like the
I
only
don't
thing
know how
that's
true it is. Yeah, but Palmer might be on the transfer market this summer, but who knows?
would you
They
take
said,
him?
yeah, I'll take him.
A
I'll
lot of
take
money
anything.
though. And wage wise, I mean,
I mean, but they're gonna change their wage structure. Depends. He can be the standard.
Nah, give me the guy from Florentina, the no no name, the another 18-year-old. Actually, I would take him if we can figure something out. I think he would actually be a good addition to the team. But I think there'll be options before him. I think I would take other players.
I think if he's fit, he would be a good addition to Tottenham.
Yeah, at this point, anybody will. Shoot, I'm about to show up. Technically,
We
I'm a
said
free
make it.
agent.
We said make it better.
Technically.
But Chelsea are now in 5th as Manchester United won yesterday against Everton. Go by Benjamin
Sesko.
Sesko. So Man United are now in the top 4. Top
Ooh.
4.
He's a
Top
super
4. Who
sub. That's
predicted
what he's.
this? You guys remember
I
your
don't
top
think.
4's predictions?
I think I had
Man wasn't
United.
even in it.
No, you didn't.
Either United or Villa. I had United. I had
No, I think
United
Alan had
fifth because I
United
had
because he was
Tottenham.
like regretting it because they were playing
Yeah, I
so
was
poorly.
regretting
But
it.
then
But you guys had
Okay.
Villa up there.
I had Villa. Yeah, I didn't have United at all.
I think I had Chelsea up there.
I think I had Newcastle.
Check, see if you guys are liars. All right. Pat, you had Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Aston
Okay.
Villa, Man United. Okay.
Top 6,
Right.
then I guess, yeah.
Randy had Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, Aston Villa,
Who do you
And
have
then
on number 1?
Liverpool.
Thought we were gonna.
'Cause-
Don't worry, the season's not over
Wow.
yet, Pat. You're gonna show us how bottlers do it.
You did have Wolves, Sunderland, and Burnley dropping. I think you were the only one that predicted Wolves. Oh, no. You both predicted Wolves dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I predicted Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, United.
Third? Wow.
You see, he didn't even have. At least he's honest. He didn't have
Well-
Spurs up there.
They spent, you see all the money that Liverpool spent?
Yeah, they should be.
I didn't realize they're
worse.
going to let it go to waste.
It's not over yet. We can still make top 4 at least. That's what we're going for now.
All right. Well, with their win, Liverpool are now sitting 6, tied on points with Chelsea on 5th.
Yeah. Just goal
So,
difference separates.
The dream's alive. They might still be able to make
course.
Europa. And
No,
how
we're not
easy it
going to
is to win Europa. They might win it.
Okay,
don't
with
worry
Bodo
about it.
Glimt going all the way? Yeah.
What? Bodo Glint's
You'll-
in
you'll-
Champions League. What are you
Yeah,
talking
they're a
You'll never
Champions League
play.
team.
You'll never play teams like Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. Oh, okay.
Well, now you do because there's such a big, there's so many teams in it.
Yeah,
Is
we
that
haven't lost
36
to them.
teams?
We haven't lost to them.
All
But Inter Milan lost to them. Man City lost to them.
Atletico, I think, right? Atletico Madrid too?
Atletico Madrid lost to them.
Yeah.
But God forbid
Giant
we
killers.
draw with them. Oh my God. Tottenham drew with Bodo Glimt. Okay, we told you. We tried telling you. We tried to warn everybody.
But
Nobody
who's going to
listened.
believe Spurs? Nobody
Yeah.
believes Spurs. Come on. That's just a
Uh,
Spursy thing to do. That's why. Who's going to believe
So
that?
you said that Liverpool won. Or is that really a win? I mean, technically,
got
yes,
3
it's 3 points.
Yeah, there you go.
But I'm pretty sure that was all sides.
I looked outside.
I
the
was
league.
like, where are these lines at?
I don't know. Whatever. At the end of the day, I'm going to be honest.
Oh, okay.
Look, I'll be honest. Like, it was a tough game to watch. I think the most, what's it called? The outcome of it would have been a draw. I think that was the best outcome. Or, even saying it, I think maybe that game looked like it could have been a draw or a 1-0 game. It would have been like a, very hard-earned goal. And I felt like it would have been Forest who would have gotten it because the first half, we couldn't get out of our half. I feel like the whole team was asleep. It's just when it came to playing defense, that's when we actually woke up. We tried to play out of the back, and we couldn't. We'd get a pass, and their players would just like swarm us. There were consistent pressure on us, and that would give us, and we'd give away the ball, and they would take it back. And then when you have Gibbs White, Anderson there, those players, they were just consistently, pressuring us. And whenever we did have a ball or to pass it, it was inaccurate pass. There wasn't enough pace to it. It wouldn't reach the player, and it was just intercepted easily. And luckily, Forrest should have probably scored that first shot they had. I was just already thinking like, God damn it, we're already going to be down a goal. That's just us conceding very early in the game. But luckily, we were able to hold out and survive the first half, which I don't know how we were able to survive. And I was praying we were gonna go to the half 0-0, and then hoping that Slot would figure something out because that first half was horrendous. We did have a moment where I think Virgil got hit in the head with the ball, so it was of course we had a little timeout for a head injury to check on it, and that was when Slot was able to change the formation a little bit put Curtis Jones at right back and put Soboslai in the middle. And that helped a little bit, but, the second half was night and day. Florian Wirtz did pick up I think a muscular injury, and
Yeah,
they
I
were
saw
just,
his
before
sideline, right?
warm up. Yeah,
Ooh.
warming up, and then, I think just to be safe, they didn't let him play. We don't wanna risk getting worse. And I don't wanna say that was the reason for why we were, horrible, possession based. I mean, he's not really one to hold the possession, he's more of the playmaker, but regardless of what it was, we just couldn't hold possession. I think the one point they were like Nottingham Forest had 60% and we had 40. I was like, to me, it was more like 20-30 for us because we couldn't hold on to anything at all. Um, like I said, we were just survival. And then the second half, we were able to make some changes and it looked good, promising in the beginning of the second half. We were attacking, but it was just an off day for everyone. Ugo had, I think, 2 shots that should have been goal. Um, Curtis Jones had a shot that was blocked perfectly by the goalkeeper Ortega. I think he was able to. It was a head kick, and he
He
was able
looked
to put
pretty
his
good.
down. Yeah.
It was weird
Um.
seeing him in the kit in the
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
farm. I feel
I
like I
forgot.
had
I forgot it was. I thought
I
it was
forgot all
Cells
about
for
him.
some
me
reason,
too.
and
Me
Yeah.
then I
too.
was like, "Oh, Ortega," and yeah, that explains. But
I forgot
it
that
was
Man
just it was a
City.
horrible game. Yeah.
I
Because
forgot
he
that
had
Man
Trafford,
City.
right?
Yeah, they got Trafford, and then he he failed miserably the first 2 games. So then they
Yeah,
went out
and
and got
they.
Donnarumma,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I
that's
think
what it was.
Ortega left not long. I don't even know when he got. Well, obviously these are the summer or the January
Yeah,
Yeah.
window, right? But I don't
but
know which
yeah,
one it was.
Because Matt Sells is typically the starter for Forest right
yeah.
now.
That's why I forgot when they said Ortega. I'm like, wait, I forgot that transfer even happened. Ortega's playing well. I think Nottingham Forest they looked like a team that was challenging for fourth place, and we looked like the team that were trying to survive relegation. It just looked night and day. It looked like the
How that looks.
roles were reversed. I mean, and then we made the subs for
I'm
Rio.
I'm
I
I'm
think
glad
that
you
little
guys won.
that. Thank you, because
Yeah, you
we're
Because
saving you. We're
yeah,
saving
yeah,
you. That's right. We're saving you.
we're all saving
But
time.
yeah, we're all
I said
saving you.
us.
You owe us. I owe you. I want a fruit basket next season. All right. But no, when
right.
Rio came in, I think it just changed the dynamic of the team. He was the one who set up the goal that was ruled off sides. No, not ruled offside. A handball, which I mean, to me, it could go either way on that call because his arm was to his to his side. It wasn't extended, but he was trying to give his
Yeah.
back to get the rebound. I mean, to hopefully it would deflect off of it, but it hit his arm. So it could have gone either way. Honestly, it's a call that could go either way. But
I think
I want to see
the
what your
rules say
opinion is.
if the touch leads to a goal,
Yeah,
any touch of the hand, it has to be called back. I think
that's
that's
what.
new this season, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know
I feel like
if
maybe the
it's
last
new,
two it was been that.
but we got a goal called back for it because it was, I think it was like either close to the body. It wasn't a natural position, but because it led to a a to
A
a
goal.
goal that it had to be disallowed.
Yeah, but Tottenham is the only team that if they score a goal with the hand, they're like, "Oh man, they never let us do that. They never let us count.
Yeah, they
Everybody
know.
hates us."
Yeah, because their hand could be out here and it'll bounce right at the shoulder, and they're like, "Well, technically, since you're wearing a Tottenham jersey, your arm extends to the back of your ears,
Your whole body is an arm.
because your muscle connects. So actually, your whole body is an arm, so you can't score anything."
I mean, but
uh,
whatever. That call, I was like sort of taken back a bit because I thought that was our goal. I thought that was we were gonna win it, into stoppage time, and then luckily for us, we were able to get another opportunity. And then of course it went to VAR, but it just happened to go our way, so that's great. It was 3 points for us, but like I said, it's nothing to be looking up in the upside of. It wasn't something that left one being proud of it. It was good we got the 3 points, but just watching the overall game, it was a horrible display. It was, it looks like we didn't want it. Nottingham Forest was the better team. Like I said, if they should have felt like they should have been the one that won, or it could have been a 0-0 draw. I'll say it how it is. But again, I'll come back to what I've said many times, that sometimes the better team doesn't win. Sometimes you win ugly. Sometimes, there's a team that has 70% possession and the other 30, one has one shot on target, and that just happens to be the goal compared to the team that has 20 shots. We just found a way to win it, and I was happy. It was, we've always been the one that's not always, but we've had the luck of being the one that loses in the last minute, and to have the roles reversed for once is nice. But like I said,
It takes you back to the old days, getting a last minute winner.
oh, what a Fergie time! This is when under Jurgen Klopp. Yeah,
Tottenham in the beginning of the
great.
season.
Oh, that too, man. Like I said, that was gonna run out, and I was right on it. It did run out, but the thing is, Chelsea drew. Sucks. Manchester United won. And we
Wow, that
won,
is
so that's
miles.
it.
That is
So we're
miles
just
outside.
hoping.
Draw the lines. Draw the lines.
What? You want
The
to see
lines
the
are-
lines? On who? Who made the contact? Wow, that's a straight line.
I think you do. You can do a straight one on there, can you?
Oh, wow.
Let's see.
There you go. There you
Yep.
go.
Why didn't you do a replay of that push that, on Gabriel then, huh? Why didn't you do that video? Well, you think
Wow.
the guy who cuts the grass does it perfectly straight?
Let's see here. This foot's right here. His shoulder's over here. Oh, let's do another line. Let's do
Okay,
another
just
line here.
wait for the
Can you
Liverpool
curve it?
Spurs game.
For
you didn't
what,
check-
to help him?
You didn't check the badge, so you got to curve the line a little bit.
Wow.
That's right.
First time using Photoshop?
I mean, I'm pretty sure this is what they use, because the way they get their calls.
I believe it too, because it's so bad.
And that's giving you guys, it's further along here than it's on this side. I don't know.
I think in this game they're trying the new Arsene Wenger rule where the whole body has to be past the last defender using display. It's a FIFA thing. They approved it
This is how
after
they're
it
doing
happened.
it.
They said, "Oh, that's just."
They're
And
like
then
this.
I bet when Allen scores like that, it will be totally different.
That's the line they used.
All right, so
That's fine. It's fine.
it-
I'll take it.
I feel like because Arne Slot won the league with Klopp's team, he's basically on autopilot. He gets a lot of, as Randy mentioned, he gets a little bit of a free pass.
Yeah.
But how much of a free pass does he take? Because let's say they don't win this game, or they draw 0-0. Let's say they hit a little bit, and he doesn't make any European competition. Is that acceptable for him to have another year?
I think it depends. I think the main goal now is to get into Europe. That is the main goal. Depends on how close it is. Maybe if we're off a point, and depend if the form at the team is. If all the players are getting a nice chemistry and stuff like that, and we're winning games convincingly, giving a good show, I think he'll stay. I think they'll give him the chance because it's his team. Let him. It's his problem. Of course, injuries happened. Let him get, and maybe, like I said, maybe till the winter window, till December, to see how it goes. Because, but I know there's that whole thing about Xabi Alonso, and that's the thing that's like really,
You're thinking about
sort
it.
of turns people in too. Because even
he's going
Arne
to
Slot
Tottenham, though.
do that.
Yeah.
Nah, he ain't going to Tottenham. He wants to win something.
So you just want to hire him just to be spiteful. That's what
No.
I'm hearing.
No,
Hmm.
I'd yes, Xabi would be great, but
Just admit.
I'm on with Slot. We're not gonna fire a coach, like Spurs do. We're gonna ride it out. I think he's doing well at the moment, but we still have a couple games. If he can go out on a high, get us to the Champions League, And if we get a good Champions League run, I think he will stay to let him see what he can do with the team that now actually has more time together, and maybe it can develop well into his third season. And if it doesn't, then sadly we'll
And then
let him
Alonso's
go and
gone.
then get.
And then
Alonso ain't
Alonso's
gonna
over
go
here with
gone.
Tottenham winning, we're above you on
What
the table.
The
And then what?
championship?
And then what's going to happen? You guys are going to miss your chance. If you're looking at it
There's
the
no
business
chance.
side of things, you
You're
have
gonna
to
tell me how to do
consider it.
business with your wage structure?
Yeah, because
You're gonna talk about business?
I'm packing my bag and I'm heading over to London so I could talk to Vinay. I'm actually going to take his spot.
Oh,
But seriously, so right now because you must not be enjoying the football right now, right? And I'm not talking about like it's horrible,
no,
but it's
it's
not to
not.
the level that you guys are used
Look,
to,
I'm
right?
not gonna try to be like, oh, it's expect every team to be like the Jurgen Klopp type of football. No, you know, I see the vision that he has. You know, we look at what Florian has done in with Bayer Leverkusen. You see what Alexander Isak has done at Newcastle. How Ugo is doing. How Salah was last season. The Virgil van Dijk with Konate in the back. How Kirkus was with Bournemouth, and you see all these things. It's interesting,
Maybe,
and you have something to look forward to.
but
But
maybe
of
Alonso
course,
can bring out the better of them. He's already brought the best out of words.
yeah, he's done it over there, and then that's also with Jeremy Frimpong. Frimpong, they were playing together as well
Exactly.
over there.
So, would you really want to lose the opportunity to sign Alonso when he might bring the club to a different level? He might bring that Jurgen Klopp energy back because.
That's a lot of what ifs. That's the thing is
But look
it's
at
the same thing when we buy players. We're buying on potential. It could be a
but look at
potential.
Arne
We thought he was
Slot.
going to do well.
But you
Yes,
already know what Arne Slot has brought to the table, and can you really consider that first season the like how much can you take that into account? Was that like you said, is that Klopp's team? How
it was
much did he
Klopp's team,
change?
and he.
How much is he changing? Where's his vision going to? Because is his vision gonna be better than Klopp's? Like,
The thing
to
is,
me,
everyone
it's.
expecting Klopp type of football. It's a new coach. He's not gonna. He even said it.
I
I'm
meant
not
like
gonna try to
standards
be
wise,
Jurgen
at
Klopp.
least.
Yeah.
Standard wise, we won a trophy in the first season. We're still in Champions League, and like I said, when you have
But
leeway,
that downhill slope doesn't scare you.
it would have scared me if you were in your position. But we're still challenging for
Well, right, but I'm saying, but the
for Champions
standards,
League.
you don't think it scares you as the drop in standards because you went
It
from
does
winning
scare
to
me,
league
but like
to.
I said, when we were on that horrible losing game streak, it wasn't looking good. What they gave up stats. So the last time Liverpool were like this, they were, I think, relegated. That was before Premier League. When it was a different league. Yeah, that scared me. And then we turned it around. But you have to give faith into a coach, especially like I said, he has leeway because he's won the title, and we're still in contention for Champions League position, and we're still in the Champions League. We came in third in the table, Champions League. So it is difficult. Of course, I mean, a lot of, not I'm saying a lot of teams, some teams do have, after winning the championship, they do have a slump. It's like, unless you're Man City, it's hard to win back to back. you know, it is hard
Yeah,
to
it
win back to
is.
back. Of course, and like I've mentioned, yes, we've won, and yes, we strengthened our team. But guess who else has? Arsenal and City. You look at we of course we say Chelsea because of the amount of the players and money they spent. Look, and then there's surprise teams. Manchester United showing up, Aston Villa as well, Brentford. So that's the thing. We're hoping for the best. We're hoping that it carries over, knowing that other teams have spent as much, like I said, Arsenal has depth. They got so they don't have to deal with the injury crisis they dealt last year. I thought we were in good position with the players we bought, but then I thought we had enough depth, and then I was wrong. It wasn't depth, and now it's showing up. So it's our fault. Yes, it is sort of frightening to see that decline, but like I said, we're not in that deep decline We're still in sixth place, tied for with Chelsea. Just I think 3 points away from for the fourth spot in Champions League. It's still close.
Yeah. So if you don't make any sort of European competition, you give Arne slot till another season, at least another half a season.
I would give him a
You said
half a
till the
season
winter?
to the winter and see hopefully what can happen.
Thomas
Like
Frank
I
is
said,
available.
what?
Thomas Frank is available.
Thomas Frank? No, he's
I'm not
he's a
saying
nice
that
guy.
you should be scared of relegation. I'm just saying, the drop off in standard, and especially with the investments that were made in the summer, you look at this team and say we should be battling for top 2, top 3, no less. And in Champions League, you should be looking to go to the final with the talent that was brought in to fortify that team.
But if you've seen it,
But
it's like with Spurs as well. When we're in Champions League, we're playing so much. We beat Real Madrid. We beat Inter in Milan. We're so much different.
Real
in
Madrid's in the
Champions
playoffs
League
right now, though.
I know,
But what I'm saying
it's
is
Real Madrid. They're
but if
always
you're
a
already
tough team to beat.
Right, but if you're already investing all this money, why not keep going and look at the managerial situation and say, okay, is there room for improvement? We're improving
There
everything
is room for
else.
improvement, but you got to give
So,
time. If with one
but
thing, when one bad thing goes,
Alonso's not gonna. There's gonna be a lot of managers.
When one thing goes bad,
new.
you want to jump ship already? No,
No,
you have
that's
to
not
give
what I'm
time. You have to
saying.
let them
I'm
look at
saying
it with Arsenal and Arteta. How many things have gone bad? How many years without winning a title?
That's true. But where did they start from?
Time.
They weren't spending $200 million in the summer.
But now look how much they spend overall. They're equal with Man City, and yet they had nothing to show for it.
I'm just saying. So when you guys fire Arne Slot and there's no managers out there,
there's going to be.
I'm not saying that you should.
Liverpool
fire
is.
him. I'm not saying you should.
Liverpool is run
sack.
well. They have their plans and everything in place.
Okay.
Of course, they probably spoke with Xavi. You're making it seem like
we
don't have a backup plan. We're not going to go for Igor Tudor as our caretaker. We're going to have someone.
Listen, I'm not saying panic mode. I'm saying
hold them accountable.
You don't have to sack Arne Slot, but if you look at it, who's going to be available? If it doesn't work out, there's a lot of money going into this team, and without the results showing, which is okay.
I was watching an interview that they did with Richard Hughes, Arne Slot. It was like for the Liverpool, and they were talking about, look, we knew what we invested in. It's for the present and for the future, and of course we are aware that sometimes there needs chemistry to be built. So they're aware of the situation that this situation we're in could be happening, and it is happening. So they're aware of that. They planned for that. So of course they said we're going to give them time to, deal with this. And if it gets worse, all right, then you reassess. But it has, I'm going to say it hasn't gone worse, but it hasn't gotten as better as one hopes for. But we're still, like I said, we're still outside of fourth place. We're still fighting for Champions League position. We're in Champions League. We're still in one of the I think the FA Cup. We're still in these competitions. So we still at the end of the season
every game
we have to see
confident that you're gonna win.
No. After watching this Nottingham Forest game
from last season, that was completely different, though.
Yes, but then
last
again,
season,
it's like
I feel like you knew you were going to beat every team, and
you can't tell what's going to happen in the game. Do you think Pat was probably how confident were you against Wolves that last game? What was your
It was shaky.
But your prediction wasn't. But then again, that's what happens with the game.
Yeah.
With the game, you don't know. It looked like it was going to be a comfortable win. You were up 2-0, and then what happens? That's the thing with this sport. Look at example, Bodo Glimt and Inter Milan. Who would have thought? Again, Milan were probably more confident because they went to the final last year, I believe. They went to the finals the past 3 years, and to lose to Bodo Glimt, who's unheard of. We just heard of them because of the Europa Cup last season, and look at what it is. That's the thing about this game. You can't tell. Give us to the end of the season, and then we'll have another discussion how it goes. But right now, I think Arne Slot should stay.
I can't wait until
What? Xavi ain't going to
Xavi
Spurs.
Alonso shows up to the stadium across, from the other side, on our side, wearing blue.
Good luck. Keep dreaming.
Yeah, you can see Xavi. You can see Xavi Alonso once a season. Don't worry. No, twice. One at
But
home,
when
one
we play
away.
when we play in the FA Cup, because you'll be in the you'll be in the championship.
All right. We'll
Um,
see.
Yeah,
all right.
we will
Want to
see.
look at next week's games or this weekend's?
Yeah, this weekend's.
All right. So
Yeah.
the games actually start on Friday this weekend. Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Mountain. We have the mighty Wolves against Aston Villa.
Now they're mighty because they drew against Arsenal, right? They weren't that
Yeah,
mighty before.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hey. I think I'm gonna give it to Wolves this time. Just 'cause
Oh,
Really?
wow.
I'm a Villa hater.
You don't want to feel that pressure. That
Nah,
pressure.
I mean Villa never scared me. I mean,
Villa's
Yeah,
dropping
yeah.
in form right now. I can see
yeah,
a draw. I'll see it.
I think Villa
it's
still.
a good draw.
I
All
need
right.
Morgan Rogers to get a little bit more experience before we sign him, because we only take top players.
Because if he's gonna go into the World Cup, let me tell you, I don't think Spurs are getting anywhere near. Because if he's taking Jude Bellingham's place, I feel like you're more likely to sign Bellingham than you are.
Think if we pressure the board enough, they're gonna crack and they're gonna give us whatever we want,
We'll see.
or else we'll stop showing up to games. Not that
That's
I go to
fine
any of the
with them.
games. I'm gonna stop going too.
I won't ever go. Bournemouth at home against Sunderland. This is gonna be
Bournemouth.
Sunderland has been dropping.
You know
nah,
what?
Sunderland.
Draw. I'm gonna do a draw.
Draw?
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. And we have Newcastle against Everton. Both coming in from a loss. One against Manchester City, the other one against Man United.
Everton almost scored in like the first opening kickoff of the
Yeah.
Draw.
City
I
game,
think
but
what Forest are
1-1.
still tired. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going 1-1 too. All right. Burnley against Brentford. Can they slow down Brentford's chase for its top 7?
let's go Brentford. I need them to finish over Liverpool.
Brentford. In that case, Burnley, they're gonna win and they're gonna add more pressure to Spurs.
All right. Then we have Leeds United against Manchester City.
City, let's go.
No,
Let's go,
come
City.
on, bruh.
Damn it.
We'll take care of you later. We'll take care of you of your charges next season.
That's gonna be City, even though Leeds is
No,
playing
come
well.
on, Leeds.
Yeah. Oh, you want Leeds. I wonder why.
Yeah. All right. Then we'll move on to Sunday. Brighton against Nottingham Forest.
Something tells me Brighton.
Yeah, your dreams,
Yeah.
your hopes
the
and
way Forest
aspirations.
played, I'm going Forest.
I think Forest. Yeah.
And you start sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna take care of our opponents
If
this season, this game.
if Forest win and Tottenham lose, you are now in 17th again.
Been there, done
Bring
that.
back Ange. You know what you haven't done? Been relegated. There you go. Something new.
There you go. All right. Fulham at home against Tottenham. We'll say that one. We'll say that one. Manchester United against Crystal Palace.
Man, you.
Can I go United?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need them to lose, but I feel they're gonna win.
All right. So, any of those call your attention for highlight game? Otherwise, we could go through hours and pick one.
I think it'd probably be Arsenal, Chelsea.
Bournemouth, Sunderland, but
What was it? Or
we
Newcastle,
can do the
Everton?
Arsenal, Chelsea.
Yeah, to do Arsenal, Chelsea.
All right.
Because those points matter.
They do matter. And I got 6 this weekend. 4-1. I predicted that. Even when Tottenham scored the second, I called the ref. I said, no. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, there you go. Live.
Yeah, right.
Proof.
I mean, we didn't. You guys didn't beat us. We lost the game. That's what it was. We beat ourselves. So
again with this one.
yeah.
All right, so let's start with the games. So Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain, 7 a.m. Pacific. Liverpool at home against relegation side West Ham.
We're gonna have another clean sheet, even though
A clean sheet?
we're
Oh, wow.
yes, we're gonna I think
Remember,
we're gonna be
offsides
2-0.
counts this time.
Somerville, man, he scared me he was West Ham were playing against who? He was showing
He's
up. Though.
good.
I'm surprised.
I like
Yeah,
him.
him and Bowen, they had a nice. But I think we should be able to lock him down. You know what? 2-0. 2-0.
2-0. Oh,
We need to win.
Clean
We need to win.
sheet. Okay.
Yes.
Bowen.
You know why,
No.
Alan? Because we're home.
Alan didn't want to hear it.
Yeah.
He left. He's frozen. Is he frozen on your side?
Oh. Yep, he's gone. He left. He doesn't want to give his prediction.
He does it. He does it. Oh, there we go. He's rejoining now, I'm sure.
What about for Arsenal and Chelsea?
Arsenal, Chelsea, the highlight game of the week. Listen, we're coming off of a high after beating Tottenham 3-0. 3-0 to the Arsenal highlight game. Confident in this one.
I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 2-2. There you go.
All right. Draw. Randy
I
always sitting on the
do
fence.
hope Chelsea wins. I do hope Chelsea wins, though.
All right.
And that's an episode. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Rivals on the Pitch podcast. Make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, right? Remember, Rivals on the Pitch. We got a lot of content. We post daily every week. Our episodes come out, usually Thursday, Friday. So make sure you always, put a reminder, notification, Thank you guys for following us, right? Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Randy, your Liverpool supporter.
Pat, Arsenal. Peace.
See ya.